Good morning, everybody, and rise and shine. Ken Reid here from Mountaintop Ministries. So glad you've joined us. There's a sign that I saw the other day while driving into Chambersburg. It was a sign beside a restaurant advertising the restaurant, and it said, "We serve kindness daily." We serve kindness daily. If I had anything to tell you about relationships, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, relationships, it would be from a verse in the Bible that says, "Be tender-hearted, forgiving one another." Okay? Relationships are really what matters in life. Our relationships with God, our relationships with our spouse, our relationship with our children, extended family members, friends, and other ones in our community around about us, our neighbors. Yet too often we allow these relationships to occupy a much lower position than they deserve on our priority list. If we're not careful, we can allow something or somebody to drive a wedge between ourselves and the people who are really precious to us. To maintain a healthy relationship, we need to learn to keep the strife out of our lives. That's a subtitle, Keeping the Strife Out of Our Lives. God made each of us as a unique individual. We have different personalities and different temperaments. We approach issues in different ways. So we really shouldn't be surprised if we grate on somebody once in a while. Too often, though, if someone doesn't agree with our opinions or see eye to eye with us on some matter, we get bent out of shape and allow strife to come to the forefront. I've discovered that just because someone is not exactly like me or doesn't do things exactly like I do them, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right and they are wrong. We're just different, and our differences can cause friction. It takes maturity to get along with someone who is different than you are. It takes patience not to start a dispute over minor issues that don't really matter hardly at all. If we're going to keep the strife out of our lives, we really need to learn how to give people the benefit of the doubt. We will often need to overlook some things. Every person has faults. Every person has weaknesses. We shouldn't we shouldn't expect and think that people we're living with are going to be perfect. After all, we're not perfect, are we? If you have trouble with that statement, maybe you're in a real mess. No matter how much you love someone, if you're around them long enough, you're going to have the opportunity to be offended. There's no such thing as a perfect spouse, a perfect boss, or a perfect pastor. If we're putting unrealistic expectations on people, expecting them to be perfect, that is not fair to them. And it'll be a source of frustration for us. We're always going to be disappointed if we do that. Some people live with an attitude like, "I'll love you as long as you never hurt me. I'll love you as long as you never make a mistake. I'll be your friend as long as you treat me just right, as you do the things my way, and I'll accept you and we'll be happy." That is really unfair, extremely unfair, and it places so much pressure on yourself and other people. The scripture really teaches that our love makes allowances for people's weakness. It says love covers a multitude of sins, or love covers a person's faults. In other words, you have to overlook some things. Quit demanding perfection from your spouse, your children, other people whom you're in a relationship with, and learn to show mercy. This is so good. Learn to show mercy. I couldn't have a better wife than Charlotte. I just thank God for her. She's coming home from her vacation this week, and I'm excited about today. And as I'm recording this Rise and Shine, she's on her way home. Do we always agree? No. We are two completely different individuals. But I am desperately studying and praying and asking the Lord to help me, to teach me how to be a better responder, better at giving mercy and grace. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I'm asking the Lord to help me not to be touchy and wear my feelings on my sleeve. Few things are really worse than someone that's touchy and overly sensitive and it just offends you all the time. It might be a good idea to learn to shake it off and move on. The scripture does teach that love believes the best in people. It believes all things. Well, my husband didn't speak to me this morning. He didn't even thank me for that nice dinner I cooked him last night. A wife might say. Love covers a fault. Instead of going through the day offended and upset, consider the fact that he might not even been feeling up to par, not feeling good, or had a bad situation at work today. Maybe he's under pressure about some other matter. Rather than criticize and condemning, give him the benefit of the doubt. Believe the best in him. My father used to say, everyone is entitled to a bad day once in a while. Choose to overlook the differences. Make a choice. Instead of immediately drifting to the negative and seeing the worst, it could really change your life a lot if you would learn to expect and think the best in people. The scripture says that love keeps no records of wrongs. You might say relationships are hard to maintain, and they are, but they're worth it. You really might find that your relationship with someone would go to a whole new level if you get rid of the record book. I know people that have kept a record book of everything negative that's happened for the last 20 years. And it's not really producing positive results either. They have a detailed score card, lists every time that someone hurt them, every time the boss talked to them in a rude way. Instead of keeping a list of differences, throw out your negative record book and look for the good. We will call him Tim, comes for counseling. That's not the right name. And saying, my wife and I have disagreements all the time, And every time we do, she brings up every mistake I've made for the last 10 years. Well, you did it 10 years ago, and you did it last year. Don't you remember that you did that in 2005? Last month you hurt me. He keeps hoping that you'll see something good in him, but she keeps stirring up dirt from the past. As long as you are bringing up pain from the past, you're going to have strife in your present. Get that? But I'm the one that's right, I hear him lament. Maybe so. But do you want to be right? Or do you want to have peace in your home? Do you want to have your way? Or do you want to have a healthy relationship? Many times you can't have both. Well, I'm the boss in the house. Well, how's that working out for you? Especially in marriage. It's really vital that we don't keep a scorecard. It's got to be obvious to you that I'm reading this right now. It's meaningful for me. It really is. And I just had to share it because it's good stuff. It's on relationship building. It's good stuff. And so I'll just continue to go on. Here's an illustration. Christine was driving through an intersection when she accidentally turned too sharp and sidewiped another car. Worse yet, she was driving her brand new car, a wedding gift from her husband, Eric. Christine pulled over to the side of the road, and the driver of the other car, an older gentleman, got out of his car and began to examine his severely damaged bumper. He then stepped over to where Christine was sitting in her car, and she was crying like a baby. "Are you okay, young lady?" he asked kindly. "I'm fine," Christine sobbed, "but I just got married, and my husband gave me this car for a wedding gift. And he's going to be so upset. I don't know what I'm going to do." "Oh," said the older man, "I'm sure he'll be okay." He was trying to console her. "Your husband will understand." They talked for a few minutes before he said, "If I could just get your insurance information, we'll exchange that and I'll be on my way." "I don't even know if there is an insurance card," Christine said through her tears. "Well, it's usually in the glove compartment," the man suggested. "Why don't you check there?" Christine opened the glove compartment and found the owner's registration and the insurance information. Attached to an envelope containing the insurance card was a note that read, "Honey, just in case you ever have an accident, please remember, I love you and not the car." That's the kind of person I want to be. A person who shows mercy, even in advance of a mistake or a wrong action. I hope today that this will help you to have a relationship that's even better than what you already have. We can all improve in our relationships. I felt really led to do that today. Tomorrow I'm going to bring you one entitled, "In Your Relationship, Choose to Be a Peacemaker." Choose to be a peacemaker. God bless you. Life is good. Make the best of it. I'll see you on Rise and Shine. I'd love to hear from you.